Well, indeed he did it. Denny Hamlin has reached win number, I can't even do it with my, I guess, 60. He's finally did it. He hit win number 60. That has been his ultimate goal. Of course, this also locks him into the Final Four. Look, Denny Hamlin's been very open about it, wanting to get to win number 60. He knows he doesn't have a lot of time left in his career. It seems like that 2020, what's this year, 2025? So 2027 seems like it's going to be the last year for Denny Hamlin, so he knows the window is short on his career. There's not a lot left to pick up wins, pick up that first championship, but he made it very clear he wanted to get to this magic number of 60. 60 career wins. Well, today he did it. He did it in not the most normal way, and I'm not saying that he had to drive from the back of the field or they were on some crazy alternate strategy, but they started on pole, lost the lead on lap 1, but they were never out of it. They never ran poorly. They never dropped. I don't even know if they dropped out of the top 10, maybe during pit cycles and stuff, but they just were there all day in the top 5, it felt like. I mean, Denny Hamlin only led 9 laps in this race, but that final run, the final 20-lap run or whatever it is, running to the checkered when you had Chase Briscoe on 2 tires, Logano on 2 tires, Hamlin had to chase down his teammate, Briscoe. He had to beat Kyle Larson, who had been the best car the majority of the day, led the most laps. Kyle Larson back to his old form, leading a bunch of laps. And Hamlin passed everyone. Every single car he had to pass. I don't even remember where he started on that last restart, but started somewhere 8th to 12th, maybe, I want to say. But he made his way through on the restart, avoided a big restart wreck that Ty Gibbs and Christopher Bell kind of triggered, his teammates, by the way. But we saw Hamlin charge up through the field. Once the field got spread out, he was able to pick his way up and steal the win. And then by the time he cleared Larson, it took him no time to get by Briscoe. He blew by Briscoe. Larson was struggling to get by Briscoe. Larson, he'd get side by side with him here in the closing laps, battling for second. But Hamlin just blew by him. It's like he had a NOS button, like in the Fast and Furious movies. I believe that's Hamlin's second win at Las Vegas. It comes at a great time. Obviously, the heavy emphasis on win number 60, but making it back to the Final Four. This is going to be his first Final Four appearance since 2021. His first Final Four appearance in the next-gen car. He's come really close to making it into the Final Four in the next-gen car, but very bizarre circumstances have happened. The Hail Melon, 2023, I think he blew a tire out of the lead at Homestead or something. Last year, I don't remember what happened last year, but he's back in the Final Four and he has a shot to win his first championship. That is maybe the biggest storyline of the day, but let's talk about the other potential biggest storyline of the day. Oh my goodness. William Byron had one of the best cars all day, top 3 most of the day. It seemed like it was going to be him or Larson that won this race. When it came to pit strategy, they were 1-2. Larson leads 129 laps. If we go down here to the bottom now, Byron leads 55 laps. These two were the class of the field, it felt like. We saw Briscoe up there early. We saw, as I said, Hamlin was up there in the top 5. Reddick at times was able to keep up with them, but Byron and Larson were the class of the field. Well, time is winding down in the race. Okay, all right, great. Final pit stops seemingly have all been completed, right? All the leaders, at least, have completed their final pit stop. It's going to come down to Byron and Larson, it seems like, if this thing goes green. Byron did get the lead out of the pits, and he had a massive slip on track. He kind of just slid a little bit, and that gave Larson the lead back, but Byron, of course, trying to charge back. Well, then out of nowhere, Ty Dillon decides to pit. You're probably wondering, we're talking about the battle for the win between William Byron and Kyle Larson. Why are we bringing up Ty Dillon pitting? This is why.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Spotters will signal, wave their arms, I'm pitting, and...
Yeah, that really happened. This is a rare instance in NASCAR. Last time we saw this was 2020 when Quinn Houff tried to pit from the 3rd lane up, and he came down and wrecked Christopher Bell and Matt DiBenedetto. We don't see people wreck like that a lot entering pit road. There's a lot of discussion. Did the spotters discuss it? Did Ty Dillon wave his hand out the window? From the replays that NBC showed, Ty Dillon did not wave his hand out the window. Usually, when you are coming down pit road, the driver sticks their hand out the window. It's a better visual. And they literally wave like, hey, I'm pitting. So go around the outside of me. I'm about to go really slow. Now, maybe there's another camera angle. Maybe he did, and just the cameras caught him at the wrong time. But, oh my goodness, this is a season-changing, potentially championship-changing incident because Ty Dillon didn't stick his hand out the window. Now, once again, if he did, my bad. But, oh my goodness, that was a brutal hit, a vicious hit. Thankfully, both drivers were released from the care center. They both did their post-race interviews. Byron just seemed shocked, as expected. I mean, he didn't expect Ty Dillon to slow up that much and for him to rear end him at 180 miles an hour. I mean, if he expected it, you think he would have maneuvered a little bit differently. Like, I'm as shocked as Byron. I mean, truly, that was... I don't even know what you do there, man. And Byron, as I said, he had a fantastic day, picked up 18 stage points. They were at worst going to finish second, it felt like at that time. And sure, another caution could have come out, strategies, blah, blah, blah. They were going to have a top 3 day, 18 stage points. They were going to be like plus 30 on the cut line or something. Now they're almost in a must-win position. I haven't looked at the points officially, but I think he's like minus 20 something. Like, it's bad for Byron. I mean, just absurd. That should not be happening. Whether it's a lack of communication, whether it's Ty Dillon not putting his hand out the window, there should not be an instance where we have to see this damage on a race car because someone didn't know or didn't signal that they were going to pit road. That's absurd. It's bad. That was a really, really bad incident. But let's look at the results. Outside of the Byron incident, it was a pretty tame day in terms of playoffs. Like, Blaney blew a tire in stage 1, and that ended their day. Like, that seemed like it was the playoff chaos up until the Byron thing, because really nothing else happened playoff-wise. Really nothing else in terms of incident happened. But I will say, we had a fantastic race day. We had great racing up front, whether it was Hamlin and Byron battling for the lead, whether it was, or not Hamlin and Byron, Byron, Larson, whether it was Larson, Reddick at one point, you know, Briscoe was up there. Like, we saw a lot of great, we saw like packs of 5 racing each other. There was some really good racing, I thought. And this is, once again, the 1.5 miles in these cars, they have been so good, which is why I'm kind of fine with them not touching anything with the horsepower, because if you mess up or if you move up the horsepower, what does that do to the air? We don't need to get into that. But as I said, I thought it was a really good race. But Denny Hamlin is your winner, picks up career win number 60. Very emotional in this race. Obviously, 60 is a big deal, but I think his dad is dealing with some health issues, and it seems like it's a very serious situation. So obviously, a lot of emotion for Denny Hamlin. Making it back to the Final Four, having a chance at your first championship, getting that elusive 60th win, getting into the top 10 on NASCAR's all-time wins list, the other emotions off the track with your father, like, Denny Hamlin's got a lot going on right now, but the next 2 weeks are stress-free at Talladega and Martinsville. I think that's a big thing because Denny Hamlin, we know how good of a driver he is on super speedways, but the next gen has not been nice to him at the super speedways. He has had some abysmal results. Well, now it doesn't matter. If the big one gets triggered on lap 1, turn 1, and he finishes dead last, it does not matter for Denny Hamlin. He's in the Final Four. So Denny Hamlin had an incredible drive today. As I said, only led 9 laps, but put himself in position all day long, put himself in position at the end of this race, went up and took it and won his 60th career NASCAR Cup Series race. Future first ballot Hall of Famer Denny Hamlin. Kyle Larson second. Kyle Larson is back, it feels like, at least. This has been the problem with the 5 team. Ever since that Kansas win, they have been off. Or really, not even that. Going to Charlotte. They led the first 34 laps at Charlotte or something, and then Kyle Larson spun himself out, and then since then, it has been nowhere near the same. I'm pretty sure after that Charlotte race, when he led those laps, at that point, he had 900 and something laps led, like 915, 907. I don't know the exact number. Well, he has not eclipsed the 1,000 laps led mark until today. He leads 129 laps. I think he won a stage at some point. This was a massive day for the 5 team, and this is one of their best tracks. Larson's won 2 races here. He's led a bunch of laps, won a bunch of stages. This is one of his best tracks. They have been looking for this performance. They have been looking for the 5 team of old that has been missing since May. They showed up today. They led laps. They won a stage. They did everything right. Just that last run, they were just a little bit off and not quite as good as Denny Hamlin. As a result, they finished second. They're still in a really good points position, but with Talladega looming, and I know Kyle Larson's had a lot of good super speedway results this year, but Talladega's unpredictable. He said it himself. He can't rely on it. So Kyle Larson finished second, great points day, but ultimately still not guaranteed in the Final Four. Christopher Bell, great day for him. Really didn't score as many stage points as I thought he would. He seemed to be the weaker of the 3 playoff cars for JGR, which was a big surprise considering how good he is in this fall race. But they rallied late. They scored 7, 8 stage points, however many it was. But they rallied late. They were able to get themselves in position for a top 5 and good points day. But as I said, not locked in. 4th place, Chase Briscoe. I feel like they made the most of their day. They were top 5 early. I don't know if faded's the right word, but they kind of fell back to 8th to 10th, and they had a little bit of damage from hitting the wall on a restart. But they took 2 tires late in this race after the Byron caution, put themselves up front, got the track position, and they end up with a 4th place finish. So it was a big net gain. They end up making up a few spots. He leads 57 laps, gets a bonus point for the fastest lap of the race. That could be the difference. You never know. But really good day for him. Tyler Reddick 5th, great top 5 for him. He even led a lap today. Eliminated 1 week ago at the Roval. Reddick 23-11 are really good here at Vegas, so no surprise to see them up there. But as I said, just a really, really good day for them to show that speed. Joey Logano 6th. The point situation is still not good, but considering how they ran today, this is kind of a win. I think they scored some stage points. If they did, they didn't score a lot. They were running 15th for a good chunk of this race. They made an alternate strategy call as they did in this race a year ago, but instead of fuel, this time they took 2 tires instead of 4. And instead of finishing 15th, they end up finishing 6th. Alex Bowman 7th. He was up in the top 5 late, but the late race restarts got chaotic, I guess. He ends up finishing 7th. Vegas is a really good track for him. Kyle Busch with a top 10. That's like a win for him at this point, which I can't believe I'm saying that. Ryan Preece, Brad Keselowski had double top 10 for RFK. Remember, Preece finished 3rd here back in the spring. So Ryan Preece, hey, really good at Vegas. Who would have thought? Cindric, Buescher, all 3 RFK cars in the top 12. Noah Gragson, his home race. Great story here. Great job by him. They showed him early in the race. I think he made up 9 positions in the first 20 or 30 laps. I mean, he was charging through the field, and they've had a really rough year. So a 13th at a mile and a half. His home track to add on to it. That's a really, really good day for Noah Gragson. Great job for him. Stenhouse, Jones, McDowell, Herbst, Elliott, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott at Vegas has been all over the place results-wise. So coming into this race, got no idea what to expect. He qualifies 4th, like he did at Kansas, and he won that race. Runs in the top 5, scores stage points, and then in the middle of stage 2, it got derailed. Just like the Kansas race in the spring, when they scored all those stage points, were one of the best cars all day, a pit road issue ends up costing them a shot at a good finish. Well, the same thing happened today. An uncontrolled tire penalty during green flag pit stops puts them a lap down. They have to take the lucky dog, and they never recovered. They just never recovered. No other way to put it. Could have had a top 5, could have had a few more stage points. Instead, they finished 18th, and now they're in a bad point situation. Allmendinger Suarez, Todd Gilliland, Bubba also got a pit road penalty. He was running in the top 5, top 10 when that happened. Chastain, Zane Smith, Dillon, Barry, Haley, Custer, Nemechek, J.J. Yaley, Catherine Legg, host of our SVG. We'll get more into it tomorrow, but SVG was having a fantastic day. Just a couple of weeks removed from his first oval top 10 at Kansas, a very similar track, mile and a half, multi-groove track. SVG was having a top 10 day again. Was on pay. I think he finished 11th in stage 2. I think he lost that last stage point in the closing laps or something. He was running in the top 10, got as high as 8th, I think. looked like he was going to be in position to at least compete for a top 10. But unfortunately, on a late race restart, they made the strategy call to take 2 tires, restarted 5th, got wiped out in that whole Gibbs-Bell thing, which we'll break down more tomorrow night. So he ends up wrecking, finishing 33rd. Ty Gibbs, as I said, was in that wreck. Hard hit for Cody Ware. William Byron, we already talked about. Oof, brutal points position and brutal hit, too. Yikes. Ty Dillon, I hope it's not as bad as it looks, man, because if that is... Ryan Blaney finishes last, scored 0 stage points, blew a tire in stage 1, and because of that, when we come over here to the points, we have Denny Hamlin in the final 4 with his win. We got Kyle Larson plus 35. Now, that sounds really nice, but Talladega's next, so don't get your hopes up. Bell plus 20, Briscoe plus 15, same story. Byron, because of that wreck, minus 15. Elliott, because of his problems, minus 23. Logano, because they did not have playoff points coming into this round, minus 24, and Blaney, because of his problems, minus 31. Yeah, I'm sure Talladega will spice things up. Logano and Blaney have a great shot at winning. Heck, all 4 guys below the cutoff line have a great shot at winning. But the chaos, the wrecks, next week is going to be potentially a playoff killer. Like, it could literally kill this format. I guess we don't have to get into that tonight. But as I said, a really, really good race in Las Vegas. I thought different leaders. I know that Larson led a bunch of laps and stuff, but I mean, we saw Larson up there, Byron up there, we saw Briscoe up there, and then obviously, as I said, Hamlin just driving through everyone and just breezing by Briscoe for the win was incredible. So let me know what you thought of the race. Let me know what you thought of Denny Hamlin getting his 60th career win, that crazy crash. Yeah, man. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Bathurst was fun last night. I got to get some rest. But tomorrow we'll have the Monday after. We'll talk about Vegas. We'll talk about Bathurst. That'll be fun. And then, yeah, next week, Talladega. Brace for impact.